What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the 49-yard line. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about this Niners W we just witnessed. Okay, so first off, let's talk about the running game. We're going to talk about the running game. So today we started out with rookie Isaac Guerendo. And I have to give Kyle Shanahan some love today because for once, it seems like the Niners were clicking on all cylinders. I'd have to say this was the best game that I've seen from us all season. Now we were playing the trash 4-win Bears. Let's get that out the way. This was not a contending team. They've had some games against good teams where they've lost very close games and they self-destructed on their own. So that is why their record is what it is. But today it showed that the team is not that good, and we completely obliterated them on every level of the game, which was good to see. It actually showed us something as far as what this team is really capable of with players missing. Now, I say all that to go back to the running game because Shanahan didn't have Christian McCaffrey to lean on, and he came up with good plays. Isaac Guerendo had a pretty good game today. I mean, he had a couple touchdowns. I think he was over 100 yards rushing. He had a good game, and then after that, he got injured though, which is concerning for me because on Thursday we play again. We play the Rams on Thursday night football. If he was playing Sunday, I'd be like, oh, it might not be that big of a deal because I think he had a foot sprain. But to turn around so fast and have to play Thursday, we might be in for something a little interesting. So that's something to keep an eye on. But our team looked like they had energy today. It looked like they were up to play. Like, you know what? We can possibly do this. That's the kind of energy that they had. Do I believe that we're gonna get to the playoffs and do anything special? Absolutely not. Are we supposed to win the game today? Absolutely, we're supposed to. If you think you're not trash, and they showed today that they might not be trash, but they might be just mid. Like I mean, they're not. They're not some juggernaut right now, but we showed that we can win games with the players that we have and make it look good, which is what concerns me for this season. I just don't understand how we ended up here at this point where now we're 6-7. It's week 14. Shouldn't have to wait 14 weeks to see this Niner team put a full, complete game together. But that's neither here nor there. So good job, Isaac Guerendo, today. Good job, Shanahan, for not having to lean on one person. And he didn't have to do that because they weren't available. Let me say that again. They weren't available. Christian McCaffrey wasn't here. If he was here, this game might have turned out different. We all know Christian McCaffrey's awesome, but he didn't have an offseason, really. He didn't have training camp. He didn't have preseason. He didn't even really have a season. And then he comes back and he gets ran into the ground. So he wasn't available, clearly, because he's done for the season. So now he had to rely on a rookie because Jordan Mason is also injured. And that rookie came through. He said he was ready to handle a full load, and he did somewhat because he left the game injured. Like, I mean, couldn't even finish the game without something that happened. I mean, seems to be the thing of our season. So let's move on to Brock Purdy. Does he deserve a big payday? I still firmly believe that he does not. Did he have a great game today? Absolutely. Do I think we should pay him a whole bunch of money this offseason? Absolutely not. Now, there were some things that concerned me. I don't know if you saw it, but I did. Some Niner fans, I'm pretty sure plenty of us saw some things today, which is concerning, which is his arm strength still. When he threw the ball over the middle, it looks fine, just like Jimmy G's did. Looks fine. But we could have had way more points today. Every time there's a deep ball, go back and look at it. Those receivers are turning around and they have to adjust, and most of the time they have to wait for the ball. That's dangerous. The last one to Jawan Jennings, where it hit the defender in the back and he still had his hands on the ball, Jawan Jennings was wide open. If he hits him in stride, that's a touchdown. I think Ricky Pearsall had one and he was open and it didn't happen. Now, that's a big problem. So if you're gonna pay your starting quarterback, franchise quarterback, all this money and he can't hit wide open receivers that's clearly open on a seam route, like in stride, you need that to win a Super Bowl. That is a problem. I'm just very concerned with that. I mean, given the injuries that he's had, he had the shoulder, the UCL situation, like he had all that with the surgery and all that. But his arm strength was at question prior to that. So with that, do we really, really believe that Brock Purdy is the quarterback of our future? If he can't hit those throws, it's literally leaving points on the table, which we've had issues with scoring in the red zone. Not today, but for our season overall, yes, we've had issues scoring the ball in the red zone. We can eliminate some of that if he can make seam route passes, hitting receivers in stride where it lands in their hands or somewhere close where they don't have to slow down and adjust, because good defensive coordinators and good defenses will adjust to that, and they will see if that ball goes past 30 yards, they're probably going to have to turn around and adjust. All you guys have to do is practice turning your head around and seeing that ball will fall right in your hands if you just turn around. That's it. And a lot of the DBs, they keep running with the receiver as they should because they don't want to get beat deep. Well, when you play us and Brock Purdy's back there, you might need to turn around because we're adjusting like every single time. And to me, that's concerning. And I don't think we should be paying Brock Purdy $50-60 million a year. But let's say we do. Let's say the 49ers go ahead and follow quid pro quo. Let's just see if they follow it, because we paid Jimmy Garoppolo. He couldn't make those passes. He had a good year and he got paid. Brock Purdy had one good year. It's only his third year in the league. 50%. But as of right this year, he's playing pretty average. And he had a great game today against a terrible defense that left George Kittle open all game. We need to be a little bit worried, because if they do pay him, that means we are going to have to sacrifice in other areas. And who can we sacrifice? Javon Hargrave is one of them. He's on the D line. He's somebody that we can sacrifice, because I don't want to call anybody like washed or anything like that, but you get what I'm saying. He hasn't been that available or that effective really since he left Philadelphia. And also Debo. I've been saying all game and all season day near that he's not the same. After he got paid, he ain't been the same either. He seems pretty useless sometimes. He's basically a kick returner at this point, because him in the running game is non-existent. He had a catch today where he did adjust because of Brock Purdy's pass again, and he made a good catch. But for the amount of money he makes, we need to be seeing numbers way more than what he's providing right now. He's not producing too much of anything else. The threat of him is not there. There's plays where he's making juke moves and all this stuff, but just not going anywhere. My children are in the back rooting for him, and I'm like, we need to trade him, because that's a lot of money we giving this guy, and he's not showing up to do anything else. When the last time we seen Debo in the end zone? When the last time we seen him break a big play where he's breaking tackles and running over fools in the Debo that we know, living up to that Debo name? Haven't seen it. I've been seeing him getting cracked more than I've seen him breaking tackles, for sure. Now, Thursday, we play against the Rams, who beat the Bills today in a shootout. I think it was 86 points scored in that game. 44 of them were by them. Granted, their game wasn't in the snow, but they still stepped up and won. They beat MVP candidate in Josh Allen, who had 6 touchdowns on his own today. We're gonna be in for something on Thursday. Short turnaround. They had a big game. It might not be that great for them either, but they're in a better position than we are because they've beaten us already based off of fourth quarter lead that we gave up. Now we have to beat them. Every game is a must win. So this Brock Purdy payday thing, we're going to have to make some adjustments, man. We're going to have to make some adjustments as far as who we decide to keep. Sacrifices have to be made if we want to continue to stay competitive and some kind of contender in the postseason. Just simple as that. We can't keep paying all these guys and expect them to stay on the team when they're not producing and our quarterback finally has to get paid. Big decisions coming, but overall, it was a good win today. Am I super impressed? No, because I expect us to win games against bad teams. But was it good and refreshing to see the Niners play with energy, some heart, and actually play a full, complete game? Yes, it was nice, finally. But I would love to see it against a good team. Thursday is the first chance to and trying that. Not saying the Rams are the greatest team, but they're playing good football right now, and they just beat one of the best teams in the league. So it'll be interesting to see, something to look forward to. But I would love to hear y'all concerns about Brock Purdy getting paid, about Kyle Shanahan's coaching, about our running game, or just even in our future. I would love to hear y'all in the comment section. Let me know what you think. But until then, I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Y'all bless.